Oh, that's gone a bit quiet, that. Hang on. Why is that going quiet? Morning, everyone. Monday morning. Lovely, rainy, damp Monday. So everyone's going to be, happy and joyful, as they always are, on a Monday, especially when it's raining. So, yeah, I wanted to do a quick live video this morning based on the post I put up this morning about questions and answers. So instead of looking for answers, look for better questions. Now, what does that mean? Well, when you in terms of questions, the point I'm trying to make about that is that what we tend to do, like if, for example, you look at my business, so if we look at health and fitness and we look at that side of things, people are always looking for the next diet, they're always looking for the next exercise program, they're always looking for the next this, that, and the other. So they're constantly looking for what we call tactics or what we call methods. What they're not doing is questioning the underlying beliefs or the underlying values that guide the particular behaviour. So one of the biggest reasons why people fail to do anything, and if I look at sort of my expertise, which is particularly weight loss and transformation, is because they never question why they do the things they do. So, for example, there's this silly belief that is portrayed that people think that they see someone now and they think that it's easier for them because they see them now rather than seeing the journey. Now, if I look at my journey, especially at the start when I started losing weight, there was a lot of questioning that went on. There was a lot of questioning of beliefs. There was a lot of questioning of my values, of what I was doing, how I was thinking, and why I was doing it. So it wasn't a matter of just going, well, what diet can I go on? What exercise program can I follow? It was, why do I do the things that I do? Why did I think that? Why did I do that? What a good one. Why do I keep complaining about my weight, yet keep eating? Why? Why do I do that? Rather than I'm going to keep eating and keep complaining about my weight, why do you keep... why? What's the driver? Because genuinely what people tend to do, particularly around sort of nutritional habits and food, is they'll say, I ate that because it tasted nice. So I ate that particular food because it tasted nice, which is obvious, especially if it's something that's not exactly good for you. Most of the stuff that's not good for you does taste nice. But the reason is, if you've got an issue with your body, your self-image, your self-esteem, your confidence, why are you doing that? Why is it that you're engaging in that behaviour in the first place? Are you actually stopping and asking yourself a better question rather than just looking for another answer? And that's really the point. So what you start to do when you start to question things, rather than just look for different answers, is you start to question the value system that you have. So for example, if I'm coaching somebody one-on-one, for example, and I'm trying to teach them about values, what I'll say is this, right? Anybody can go on a diet. Anybody can, join an exercise program or start an exercise program. Unless exercise and diet is important to you, or being a healthy human being is important to you, you won't do it, no matter how good the diet or the exercise program is. Because health and fitness is important to me, is a value, right? So if you ask yourself the question, why is health and fitness not important to me, you're more than likely going to get to the real truth behind the fact of why you don't stick to anything. Because all this stuff works if you stick to it, okay? All this stuff works if you stick to it. But if you've got to ask yourself better questions to say, hang on a minute, why am I doing the things that I'm doing? Why did I do that? What was driving that particular behaviour? Especially if it's something that's not in line with where you're trying to get to. Yeah, and that's where a lot of self-sabotage comes from, particularly in things like diets and weight loss and stuff. And I look at my journey before I started on my path back in 2005. When I tried to lose weight, previous to that, there was a lot of self-sabotage. But the self-sabotage was based around my thinking of, well, what's the point of doing this anyway? Because it never works. And when I started to question that belief and question that assumption, I started to get better results. So the reason why I say this whole thing is because we are going to start seeing, well, maybe not today, but we're going to start seeing a shift in the weather. We're going to start to see a change in conditions, which is going to prompt people to take more action because, of course, we can wear less clothes, with less layers. We can't hide behind jumpers anymore. We can't hide behind coats or big, thick winter outfits. And we're going to get exposed. Our bodies are going to get exposed and things like that. And if you haven't looked after yourself for the last 4 or 5 months, well, that's a long time. And a lot of damage that can be done in terms of gaining weight and not looking the way you want to look. So a lot of people are going to be now thinking, Christ, I need to do something now because the clock's ticking for summer and so on. Problem is, people will go after the diet, they'll go after the exercise program, they'll go after the answers, but they won't be asking better questions. They won't be going, well, hang on a minute, why can't I stick to anything? What's the reason why I can't stick to anything? And it's not the diet, it's not the exercise, that's not the point, because all this stuff works. And there are people out there who are doing more than you with less and things like that. So you have to start asking yourself better questions. Because when you start asking yourself better questions, you're going to get to the real root cause of why you don't stick to things. Because ultimately, when we talk about diets, when we talk about exercise, we're successful based on what we stick to. And it all works. In my game, there's a lot of backbiting, a lot of bitterness, a lot of people who think that by slagging off something else, that's going to improve their business. It doesn't work. It all works. All these diets work. The truth is, the ones that really work are the ones that people stick to. And that's down to you. And you won't ever change that unless you question why you're impatient. Why am I impatient? Why do I keep going into things and being impatient? Because the truth is, if you're not getting the results you want, that's yours. That's down to you. Nobody can do that for you, no matter how much you pay them. If people pay me a lot of money, I still can't do it for them. I still can't get the results. I have to give them the tools so they get them themselves, so they can self-motivate. But if they don't ask questions about why they do certain things and why they engage in certain behaviours, none of this is going to work. They'll just hop from diet to diet, from exercise to exercise program, and at the end, they'll just blame that instead of actually saying, well, stopping and saying, right, what am I doing here? Why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep self-sabotaging myself? And that one thing alone started me off back in 2005 and helped me lose, 70 pounds and keep it off for as long as I have. It wasn't the diet, it wasn't the exercise, it was the questions I asked myself about why I was doing this to myself and what values were guiding my behaviour. And it's as simple as that. It's not easy, but it's simple. And the problem with asking yourself difficult questions is not a lot of people want the answers. So they just hop onto the next diet or exercise program without actually sitting down and going, right, what's really going on here, and asking themselves the questions. That's all I've got for today, guys. Have a great Monday. See you soon.